kill it, but this is kind of awkward. It's actually not that awkward, right? Yeah. Okay, I think a draw and a buff and then a swipe is fine. Zilliax, right? That's the one thing. But he can't heal yet, so he doesn't really want a Zilliax. So that's one swipe down. But that's fine, right? Because you can only go floop swipe anyway. Those are pretty decent big taunts. Alright, the twig has arrived, that's nice. So twig hero powers 4, 6. You can draw 1 again here, but it's like whatever, right? Probably just cycle. Okay. So if I nourish here, I go to 5. Meaning I can twig Tyrant, but then I can't hero power it. I think I'd rather put extra damage into it and just nourish for the Tyrant next turn. Because the nourish might be used for card draw the way it's looking, because we still need to find Alex. What if Melly gets sprawled? Well, you go for twig, right? And then you go Melly, floop, swipe, moonfire, moonfire. Okay. So how much do we have? Not that much. So we need I'm not sure what happened there, my weird little friend, so. Not sure what happened there. I don't think we can win anymore though, right? For being reasonable. I was told by someone at the start of this game to not concede. I might need to go and ask my 12 minutes of my life back. And then what, Mealfish? My Mally survives and then what? He has more HP than I can deal damage. I need the Alex. All these no skill, no fun warriors. Time to play quest stroke, lol. Right. I don't know, it feels like it's weird. It feels like if you're not doing the end of season push, right? It's like, it's so weird. How does Asmo do it? Like, play right now? Because, like, you gotta get counter queued and sniped so often in the last 2 days, right? Stop playing melee druid for the love of God. I'm just trying to learn. I'm not trying to win as many games as possible. Add delay, but I see. Okay, let me explain what I'm trying to do. Right, like, why don't I take a minute and lay it out so it's less confusing? So I do want to become a good player with eventually playing for the finishes, right? But I still want to prioritize streaming because I'm a streamer and I'm not a pro player. That being said, I do want to become a better player because I think that that's definitely a good asset for being a constructed streamer, right? If we can regularly have a decent rank. The way how I want to do that is systematically play meta decks and just learn them. And then after we've learned all the meta decks, we know how to play against them, and then we can start to play a lot more off-meta stuff as well if we want to, because then we'll know how to beat the meta decks, and then we'll also be able to play those little nifty higher win rate decks, right? It just feels that on the last 2 days, if I'm going to be streaming, it's going to be kind of hard to learn because I'm just going to get like a shit ton of bad matchups, right? So what do we do, chat? Let's brainstorm together. Because I mean, I could turn the stream off. I could add delay, but I don't know. It feels like it hurts my stream more when I stream with delay. I think I have to change up the deck sometimes. Yeah, but I don't learn as well. If, like, for me, I just need to jam the same deck 2 days in a row, and then it's not like I'll know it then, but I'll know more things about it. Like quest rogue. Am I a quest rogue god? Like, oh, poof, so far from. But I kind of know what you're trying to do, right? Like, I kind of know, like, oh, you'd keep the Sonya, you're looking for vanish in these matchups, you're trying to get a shadow step on your guy, so on turn 6 you can play it for free and then vanish it back to your hand, get a free bounce for the thing. You know, you start to learn these little intricate things, and that helps you a lot in beating the deck because you know what you're trying to do. If I'm going to be switching decks the entire time, it's going to be more in between decks that I already know, which is fine. You can add practice on something you already know, but I think there is a lot more efficiency in terms of learning. Like if I have not played a deck that I see all the time, like for instance Odd Warrior, right? Odd Warrior I see all the time and I've played 0 games of, well, not zero, but basically 0 games of Odd Warrior. It's gonna help me a lot more if I play a couple games of Odd Warrior compared to if I play, you know, a game of Shudderwock Shaman, which I've played like 250 games on, right? That's just my point. You'll meet a lot of control warrior without getting sniped. So what you're saying is I should practice my quest stroke. Yeah, but the thing, Smorky, is you don't learn very much from playing melee and fighting warriors. You don't learn very much from playing quest stroke and fighting odd paladins. You don't learn very much from playing odd warrior against quest stroke, right? You stress yourself out with long sessions on one deck sometimes? Really? For me, it'd be more stressful to switch decks, I think. Because then you're constantly having to, like, you don't have to rewire your brain, but you have to be like, okay, what do I do with this deck again, this and that? I feel like it's a lot more relaxing to do one deck, right? Because you don't have to constantly switch up your thinking. Because you start to think in a certain system about a deck, right? And if you have to switch that the entire time around, I feel that's more stressful. I mean, if we want, we can go to Dumpster Asia, right? Like, I will not get sniped there, but I also don't have cards there. Playing another deck every game is a skill to learn. Yeah, but first we learn how to crawl, then we learn how to run, right? I feel like if you can't even play enough decks, trying to learn the skill of switching in between decks that's a little weird. Yeah, it's very hard for me to think that way though, Rose, because for me then there's like, oh, what's the point in playing then, right? If I'm not gonna learn. Okay, there's this token thing I want to do. It could be too early for you to go for high ranks. Nobody says I was going for high ranks. Oh, what I could do is I could just concede 20 games. And then play where they don't snipe me. We could do that as well. But let me first grab this weird token thing. Give me a moment, guys. We could experiment with some other stuff. There's this weird list going around. We could try out playing the weird list. It's interesting if you haven't seen it. Let's check that out. Let's see what that does. We lost some ranks while making a deck. Hey, what's up, Al? Asmo got salty, accused every enemy of sniping and went offline. I can totally understand it. I can 100% understand it. Block out your screen when selecting a deck. Okay, we can do that. I guess we can choose. Okay, guys, we'll do it like this, right? We will. Let's pick like a couple decks we're gonna play, and then just randomize in between them, like 2 or 3 decks. Let's do that, right? That seems like fun. I can definitely see myself enjoying that. Now, Rambo Jimmy, keep in mind that I'm not a good player yet, right? So I might hero power instead of wild growthing. Because in the long run, you can have 10 mana anyway. But that 1 armor, you're never gonna get back. So who's the noob now? I think we figured it out. Like, all these guys going for wild growth, they probably haven't thought about the fact that you have 10 mana anyway at the end. It's like, on turn 11, what is your wild growth gonna do? Not so much, huh? Oh, we misclicked. Shit. We're gonna have to try again next turn. 300 is really good. Yeah, okay, but I play Hearthstone all day, right? So if you play Hearthstone all day and there's more than 200 people in front of you, that's not good, right? It's also not terrible, right? It's definitely not terrible. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a terrible player. That would be rather ridiculous. But you have to look at it in relation to how much you play, I would say, right? Those 200 play all day as well. Aren't there only like 10 people playing Hearthstone all day? I know, guys. Like, when I'm talking, most of the time you don't have to take anything I say serious. I know. I'm just uncomfortable when people say I'm good at something, because then you have something to live up to, right? Colin says the same thing. Like, even though Colin sits like every leaderboard and has decent numbers, he's uncomfortable with people saying like, "Oh, you're one of the best arena players." Like, no, don't do that. And I can't mean. Man, this is an early naturalize. Like a really early naturalize. What is this hand? This hand doesn't do much. I disabled the command Breggle because it might be confusing. I mean, I'm dropping the giggles, that's for sure. What if he shaws me next turn, right? What's with Chain Gang and Hunter these days? So weird. Should I have just naturalized? I don't know, man. It feels pretty bad. I think we're just on the UI nourish game plan, right? It's not that weird wherever Kaliseth goes, Chengan goes. Yeah, I guess your 4 slot is kind of light, right? But that list looked pretty tight when I first played it, so It feels like you cut... So maybe you cut Giggles because Blood Knight or something? Okay. Well, saving the Naturalize paid off there. Do I make it 3-2? Probably not. Did we just drew really awkwardly, or is the new list bad? What do you think it is? With the sample size of 1/4 of a game, to, let's say, okay, let's say 50% of the game, I think we can confidently say that the list sucks, right? It's a list that doesn't draw you Nourish or UI. You like teachers more? What the hell, man? I ordered cards. Where are my cards? You drew all the new cards, so yeah, if all the new cards can't help me, then why play them, right? You just don't know how to draw properly? That is possible. Was there an instruction manual with this deck? I did draw 2 wild growths, so I've been told that's okay. But there may have been a step 2 to that game plan, like draw UI. I may have skipped out a step. There it is. Ah, finally. Finally, I sometimes get a little bit of luck. All right. I was just thinking I'm Mally, right? But no, I'm not. I guess we still just shoot the 2-2. Did you ever just shoot the cube? Probably not. Oh, but not a tyrant, so we only got like a tiny bit lucky. Not like an actual lucky. Not even a whispering. Alright. That's an insanely good draw, by the way. For anyone that was wondering. Why Chain Gang instead of Teacher? Well, it's not really Chain Gang instead of Teacher. It's Chain Gang Floop Scavenger instead of Teacher. And the answer is, we're just trying it out for funsies. It's not like I'm experimenting with this myself. Like, this list has been doing well. We just want to see it in action. Man, this is awkward. I want to draw with this, but I can't. You could like swipe, draw, find a tyrant, play tyrant. What the fuck, hand? Do I just ditch a plague and a soul? Oh, what is this hand? I don't know, I hate everything here, so I'm gonna go for the tyrant. Yay. So we're gonna get a mill. At least we didn't hit the mill. Feel like he has crush. Yeah, but how do I win, right? I don't win. The entire game was too awkward. Like, if I go Plague Soul there, like... How do I win? I don't feel like I win. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm just like doing it. Alright, so we've determined that the list sucks. We'll go back to the other one. Seems like a good idea. The grand sample size of one game. Druid all day, question mark? No man, I haven't played any Druid yet today. I'm playing Odd Warrior and APM Priest, various other respectable decks. Shady's getting good enough at Constructed to get salty. I'm always salty. That's my secret. I'm always salty. I'm just scrolling over chat, making sure I get everything here. Tank up to rank up. Yeah, but streaming while playing Odd Warrior, that seems like a bad idea. Alright, we're still playing on an A, right? This is our lowest ranked server. By at least 100 ranks. Alright, so we were gonna figure out what we're gonna play, right? So we can add Quest Stroke to the bunch. And then we can just queue off stream like that.